Welcome back once again, guys. Today I have a video that I've been actually waiting for patiently for a couple of weeks now, and it is finally here. And that is what is going to be the best metaverse play in the fastest growing blockchain. Before I get into this, please go down below, press a like, helps me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel, and bear in mind that nothing I say is financial advice. With that being said, let's get into it. So before I get into the project itself that we're going to be talking about today, which is Solice, let's lay out the base structure. Why am I excited for it right now? Okay, recently this person got retweeted by Suzu, and he basically showed this chart where it shows that Solana is right behind Ethereum. And I mean, their point was showing how the Avalanche is catching up and blah blah blah, but the point is that Solana is right behind Ethereum. And even though Avalanche is great, Terra is great, Phantom is great, they are not even close, in my opinion, to Solana. If there's 10 other charts that we were to lay out, not just TVL growth, but developers, the amount of projects being released, the amount of talent being moved in, all that kind of stuff, if you were to stack it through, it is not even close. If there's one thing I had to put on that it is the ETH killer, it is going to be Solana, right? Avalanche is there's a good amount of difference between Solana and Avalanche, but there's also a good amount of difference between Avalanche and the rest of them. These are like around the same to me. It's like these three are the same kind of category. These two are like leading the head pack, and this is by far the fastest growing rocket in all charts. All right, why is that important? It's because one little concept before I get into the project. A lot of times the boat you're on matters more than the project you choose. Take this one home. Write it down. The boat you're on is a better move a lot of times than the exact project. Example. What is a good narrative right now? Well, we know the Metaverse ones is like probably the number one, and then there's ones with like digital, play to earn gaming, etc., etc. If you go down the list, not too far off is something like what's going to be the best music coin, right? So artists, singers can basically have a way where they can earn most of their income and not have it like 80% go to their record label and stuff like that. Okay, that one is one of the strong narratives as well, but it's not really up there in the top 3, top 5, right? But it is in the top 10. If you were to choose a great project in that boat, but they are in Solana, but I mean, here's the thing. The narrative is not that strong, but they're in the fastest growing blockchain, it can do well. But if that same narrative is in something that's like an Algorand, it gets no push, right? You have to understand this, because this is how the network's effects works, right? The way you see the layer 1, without getting too technical, is basically like how much attention is there, right? Like just think about it like on Amazon, right? Why would you go and put your store on Amazon when you can own the whole thing in Shopify? Well, because Amazon has a stream of people already coming and things are already happening there. And you putting your store there, they can show it to their audience, and you can have a much further growth, much faster takeoff. Same kind of thing with the layer 1s. All right, now that we got that out of the way, we established why I'm already assuming and I'm confident that Solana is the ETH killer. It's pretty much established at this point. Now let's get into what is going to be the best metaverse project in the fastest growing blockchain. So we got maxed, right? Narrative strong. The boat is strong. Solice. Okay. Let's go into some basic introductions. Okay, it's there's play to earn in it. There's trading of assets, so it's interoperability. I can't say it, guys. Bear with me. English is not my first language. Basically, you'll be able to trade, sell, own your assets, everything like that. Earn, right? It has both staking as well as play to earn. Play to earn in it, right? Not every metaverse project has play to earn in it, right? It has some staking capabilities, but not play to earn. They have both, and obviously, you'll be able to create your own universe, world, everything you see fit. Very important. 3 investors: 3 Arrows Capital, Defiance Capital, and Imoca Brands. Top-notch investors, all 3 of them. They don't need anybody else, right? Zusu from 3 Arrows Capital. This is Yatsui from Animoca Brands. This guy, he turned into a billionaire like this year. Early investor in Axie Infinity, early investor in Sandbox. They own Sandbox, Decentraland. All like they knocked it out of the park, right? Out of like the top 10 best plays in the they got like 3 or 4 of them in one fund alone. So so Suzu Yatsui, and his name is Mutsu. No, I'm just kidding. This is actually just Arthur. I actually know all 3 of them pretty well. I watch all their podcasts. And they're all 3 great investors. So having that said, especially it's interesting with this guy because he's usually in a DeFi. He's very into DeFi, right? Like most of the stuff in DeFi, they even said that we're not going to get into L1, so it's fine if we miss Solanas and stuff because it's not our circle of competence. But now they're getting into this whole metaverse thing within Solana. So I'm like, what did they really see? Okay, so this is an important thing to keep in mind. It's the people who are backing the project. All right, virtual reality, we talked about this. You can see how like dynamic it is compared to something like Decentraland. Like this stuff is already starting to look pretty good, right? Like if you showed me nothing else and you showed me like, hey, this is what Facebook is looking like, this is what they're creating, and this is what their first prototype looks like. I'm like, wow, okay, I wouldn't expect anything else from Facebook, but looks pretty cool. So, but not to take it like, okay, this is the end all be all. Anybody can put a little GIF together or some images. I'm just saying that this is the actual prototype of what's yet to come, and it looks pretty immersive already. Lands, I like the idea, like the whole way they have it. It's kind of like the Jetsons. If you have watched that show in Cartoon Network a long time ago, probably just gave away I'm over 30. Well, actually no, I'm 29 right now. So let's get into some of the other stuff that they have going on, right? So everything looks pretty immersive. It's pretty cool, and you can see that. Let's see, play to earn. We already covered this stuff. And this is basically just, they're gonna add a few more things other than the normal things that we see play to earn, and there's gonna be a marketplace and stuff like that. They have a pet system where there's gonna be plenty of pets. There's gonna be like gemstones, eggs that's gonna be hatched into new pets. So have sort of a Axie Infinity vibe and angle to it already spliced in. And let's go in the roadmap where basically they're doing the token sale pretty shortly, like with it in Q4, so in basically December they're doing this. It's coming out, and then they're doing a soft launch multiplayer feature already in Q1. Like this stuff is happening. Like you're gonna be able to play in this already. Land sales going on round 1 and 2. So by that time we'll have a pretty good information on their Discord and their Twitter how far the project has exceeded, and then I can revisit this to see if I'm going to be participating in the land sale or not. And then it goes on and on. Now, roadmaps, I like to see what they already accomplished and kind of get an idea of what they have in mind, because all I'm basing it on is really, honestly, the investors who are behind it. Because if you look through their team, right, yes, they have a lot of talent, right? They have, this guy was working in Phantom, involved in actually a layer 1 blockchain that is crushing it, okay? This person, she's like already investor in some of the other funds, so this is the, the money person, right? This is the CEO, like who's the financial person, like who's gonna be raising more capital for the project, etc. She's probably involved the most to get these 3 people, investors involved and whatnot. And she was a partner of the institutional fund that held the 5th biggest wallet for Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, which is interesting to show like how people show off Bored Ape NFT, like to show how big it is really. Even investors to this degree and projects to this degree are proud to be a holder of it. And then there's a bunch of other people, but the point is, they're great. They have a lot of experience. Most of them have experience directly in the crypto native experience, but unlike what I'd like to call tier 1 projects that can go like Animoca Brands and stuff like that, they're not the CEOs of previous unicorns, right? That is like the tier 1 absolute. Meaning if somebody's coming into blockchain, they're starting a project and they have already created unicorns in the past, made companies that went to $100 million and plus and exited them, they have done it all. That means that they know how to scale up a company rapidly, fast, right? And they don't have that. They're not tier 1, I would say. They're like tier 2. And you don't need tier 1 to knock it out of the park for a project like this, I would say. It's like they can become that. I'm not, there's nothing like shaming on them, but I'm just saying that this is not something that's like, hey, for sure down, I'm gonna go ahead right after this video and put my money in this. It's not like that, right? It's more like I'm watching it. I think it's pretty good, and it's something to keep a watch on. All right. Having that said, I went through the Discord. It's pretty new. They barely have anything else. Really, like they just have a few announcements about what's going on. They started literally in October 11/20. They started posting about it, and I was just reading about a few things that just how to value the metaverse is coming up and comparing them to Star Atlas. And so far, everything checks out. Coming back to the last point is the team that's behind it. The reason why I keep paying attention to this a lot is because these guys are the ones who are in contact with these people, right? So far, you and I'm being completely honest here, there's no way for us to bet the farm on this because they have a roadmap. We see a website they put together. We see their Discord that's like earlier, like about less than a month ago. Everything is brand new. So what else is there for you to make a educated judgment on their capabilities on executing? Well, this is clearly a play on bet on the jockey and not bet on the project. Like this is betting on the jockey. We're betting on the team here to execute. And from this little summary, it gives me some information, but there is no way I can say like, yes, I feel it. Christian, he's the one. I can't say that. But you know who could? Well, guys who are backing it. 3 Arrows Capital. Guy's a billionaire. I don't know how much he has, but Arthur is a pretty smart person, right? They are in contact with the community, and if you believe in these people and you look at their track record and their Twitter, and if you're following these people especially, and you believe in their their opinion, which I highly do, right? I actually like it when it's not like 30 investors. I like it like 3 investors, all 3 of them I know. And it's not like I watch so many podcasts. I watch like 5, 7 investors podcasts overall. They have 3 out of the 5 people that I watch almost daily. So that's where I'm coming in, right? I believe in the judgment of these people, and I believe that they were able to interview and work with this team closely enough to see the future and analyze their ability to execute, and then they are putting their capital in, which they just disclosed today. We're super early, and I'm glad that I'm seeing this right now and putting it into my radar, and hopefully it helps you as well to put it into your radar. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Please go down below, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I'm always going to be bringing on the upfront work. Yes, I know this is not the way to get the best views. Most of you are going to be talking about the the stuff that already pumped, but this is the way that you keep things on the pulse. And when we have enough information, there's going to be a point where the market is mispriced, meaning we're going to know they executed on their first roadmap. We're going to know they are already like partnering up with some big stuff. We're going to know they maybe hired some new advisors that are already crushing it in the metaverse and other blockchains that maybe are unicorns and stuff like that. At that point, this table starts to tilt from being like, maybe just dabbling a little bit, to be like, hey, this could be a pretty sizable position for me. But most of the market doesn't know. The coin is still pretty much down. That's when you can get in and have that, capitalize on that mispricing and be in a position to get those 10, 30, 50 X's. All right. So if you like that kind of strategy and how I'm laying it out, please go down below and like the video and subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.